Welcome back for another skin tutorial with yet another member of the beloved Potato Head crew. Today I'll show you how anyone can do a simple and effective dark skin tone without being a painting savant or spending hours trying to achieve the effect. The first step is to take Catachan Flesh by Citadel and base coat all the skin areas. This paint has excellent coverage, so you'll find you're only going to need 2 coats at most. I'm going to speed through this part as no one wants to see me base coat a model for hours on end. With the base coating now complete, it's time to layer up. You want to now make roughly a 50-50 mix of Catachan and Cadian Flesh tone, enough that the colour jump is significant but not too extreme as shown here on my wet palette. Now apply this mix to all the raised muscles and higher areas of the skin, whilst maintaining the dark brown tones in the more recessed areas. The Bullgren here is a great model to demonstrate this on, due to him having a physique that puts Arnie to shame. I went back over everything a second time to ensure a solid coverage. With the layering complete, we have one final step in the form of an edge highlight. Take your Cadian Flesh and mix it into your existing mix that you just used for layering. If you already used up all your previous mix, don't stress it, just peek at the dried remnants of what was and mix up a new batch, making sure that the final mix is lighter than the layer that you just applied. With a sharp brush, you want to carefully edge highlight all the skin. Edge highlighting can take some practice, but as long as you're happy with the result on your models, that's all that matters and you can improve it over time. Have fun with the painting process and keep your painting goals in mind. On the hands here, I use the highlight to pick out the knuckles and other small areas. On the face, I carefully pick out the edges, brow, cheek, and even the lower eyelid since I was feeling a little bit adventurous on this guy. My advice with painting the face is less is more, and make sure you have a play about until you're happy. You can always use the darker tones on your palette to correct any mistakes you aren't happy with and go back and forth as you need to. Face painting on miniatures is an entire subject in its own right, so I won't try to give you an answer more diluted than the Ribena your stingy mate's mum gave you as a kid. And here's the finished result. I hope you found this useful in diversifying the skin tones found throughout your force, as in my opinion it looks a bit odd to have totally uniform tones throughout a unit, let alone an entire army. If this was useful, please consider dropping a like and a cheeky little subscription, as knowing I've helped someone out at the moment is a lot more motivation than the views I'm getting. If you do want to have a chat or slag me off, feel free to drop a comment, but other than that, have a great day all.